Hello guys, in this video we are going to discuss about what is meant by object oriented programming, and also we are going to discuss about the difference between the previous programming languages like structured programming and object oriented programming. So after completing this video, the students are able to understand what is meant by object oriented, and they can also differentiate object oriented programming with other programming languages. So before going to object oriented programming or structured programming, so first we need to know what are the different programming languages we have. So from the first level of computers. So if we see in this diagram, we have some different layers here. So initially we don't have any programming language to communicate with the computer. So as we know, the programming language is used to communicate with the computer, to instruct the computer. But initially we don't have any programming language, so at that time they used only machine language. So we know machine language is also known as binary language, so which contains only two digits, that is 0 and 1. So till now the computer can understand only one language, that is binary language. So why binary is not compatible in the sense, for example, if I want to enter a message hello, as we know each character will take 8 bits. So to enter this message I want 8 5s are 40 bits. So I cannot remember 40 bits here. Instead of remembering 40 bits, simply I can remember hello message. So that is the comfort we can face with our English language or any other programming language. So initially we don't have all these languages or converters, so that's why we continued with the machine language only. So but here we cannot remember the code, the complexity is more in the machine language, that's why they came with a new language called assembly language. So in assembly language everything will be in the form of mnemonics. That means, for example, I want to perform an operation, addition operation. Now instead of writing the statement using assembly language, I can write the statement like this: add a comma b comma c. That means a plus b will be added and the result will be stored in c. And here add is called as one mnemonic. In the same way, I want to assign a value 10 to a. Now in that case I can write a statement move a comma value 10. So if it is a value, to indicate that I am using hash symbol. So here move is a mnemonic. So like this, in assembly language everything will be in the form of mnemonics. If you want to perform addition, add is a mnemonic. If you want to perform subtraction, sub is a mnemonic. So if you want to perform shift right, SHR is a mnemonic. So like that we have mnemonics, different mnemonics in assembly language. But again we have a problem with this assembly language. The problem is, for example, if you want to perform addition, same addition statement for 10 times, here I should write that same add statement for 10 times. Why? Because there is no reusability here. As we see in C or Java, we use functions or loops to iterate the statements or to use a single statement for multiple times. But here we don't have any facility like that in assembly language. So there is a problem with assembly language. What is the problem? Here the problem is there is no reusability. So to overcome this problem, they came with a new language called procedural programming. So here the main focus is on reusability. So in procedural, everything will be in the form of functions. So we know the best example for procedural is C programming. In every C program we will write main function, right? So if you want to like extend your program, then you can divide your main function into multiple functions, but everything we will write in the form of functions only. So the main aim of function is to use or is to achieve reusability. So that is the main use of functions here. But again we have a problem with the procedural. The problem with the procedural is, so if I want to declare any data in the procedural programming, we have only two options. For example, I have three functions. Consider main, add and then sub. Now I'm declaring a data within main function, then I'm declaring a data outside of all function. So if I declare any data within the function, that is called as local, and the visibility of this local data is only within this method or within this function. That means this A cannot be accessed in add or cannot be accessed in sub. But coming to b, you are declaring b value outside of all the functions, which is called as global, and the lifetime or scope for this b variable is throughout the program. That means b can be accessed within main, within add, as well as within sub function also. Now I want to share a data item c only to main function and add function. So here I don't have any facility to share my data only to the specific functions. So that is the problem with this procedural programming. That means either you can declare your data as local or you can declare your data as global. But if we want to share our data only to the particular members or particular functions, then it is not possible. And coming to the next programming is object oriented programming language. Or the main problem with this procedural oriented is there is no security for your data. That means if I want to share my data, I should share the data all function to all the functions. If I want to share the data only to the specific functions, it is not possible. That means you are losing the security of your data that you are achieving using object oriented programming. So here by the name itself you can tell everything will be in the form of objects. So in object oriented programming, everything will be in the form of objects. So what is meant by objects? So that we will discuss later. But here the main goal of object oriented programming is to overcome this problem, data security. So here what we are doing within the object, we are combining data and methods. Within the object we are combining data and methods, so that this data can be accessed by only these methods. That means as we discussed, if I want to share my C data only to add and sub, now what I will do, I will write item C, then I am writing add method, then sub method within this class itself. Now this data item can be accessed within add as well as sub. Now this data item cannot be accessed outside of this class. That means no other function or no other class can access this data. So in this way you are providing security for your data in object oriented programming. So next we will see the differences between the previous programming, that is procedural or structured programming, and the now current programming, that is object oriented programming. As we discussed, in procedural everything will be in the form of functions, and the problem with procedural or structured programming is security. So that is data security was a big problem. And coming to object oriented programming language, so here everything will be in the form of objects and classes. We will discuss what is meant by object and classes in the next topic or next slides. And now here the problem can be achieved, that is a data security problem can be achieved using classes or objects. So now here the main emphasis we are focusing on functions, whereas in object oriented the main emphasis, that means we are focusing on data. So that is the main difference between structured and object oriented. And one more difference is in structured programming it is top down approach and this is bottom up approach. We will discuss what is meant by top down, why you are calling structured as top down and why we are calling object as bottom up in the next slide. So here if it is a procedural programming or structured programming, the main program, that means the main program will be divided into sub functions if we need. That means like if your program is complex or clumsy, then that will be divided into multiple functions. Otherwise if your program is very simple, then you can go with the main program itself. That means only one main function is enough. Otherwise if you are doing a program like calculator where you are performing addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, then your program will be complex, and if you write all these functions, all these functionalities within the main function itself, the code will become clumsy. In that case, you can divide your main program into 4 different functions: add, sub, mul and div. And again, if your function is complex, then again you can divide into multiple functions. So that is the process in procedural or structured program. Whereas coming to the data, so in structured or procedural, we have two types of data. One is global data and the other one is local data. So if we declare any data within the function, then that is called as local data. And the scope for this local data is within this function itself. That means this data can be accessed only by this function. So if you declare any data here, for example A, this cannot be accessed by function 2. Because it is a local data to function 1 itself. Now if I want to share data to all the functions, then you can declare your data as global data. Global data can be declared outside of all functions, So the thing is, if you declare the data as local, only that function can access. If you declare the data as global, that can be accessed by all the functions. And coming to object oriented, here everything will be in the form of objects. So here we are taking 3 different objects. As we discussed, the data and methods will be combined within the object. And the advantage is this data can be accessed by only these methods. For example, if I declare any data A item here, this cannot be accessed by this object. So this is not possible. Or this data cannot be accessed by the methods available in A object. So this data can be accessed by only these methods. And now the methods of B object can communicate with the methods of A object and also communicate with the methods of C object. That means one object can communicate with another object using methods, but they cannot directly share the data item. That means you are providing security for your data. That's why you are not going to share your data. But you can transfer some messages, you can transfer some data using methods or messages, but directly you cannot share the data. So that is object oriented programming. And right, so we will discuss about the top down and bottom up approach here. So as we discussed, the structure follows top down. In the previous slide we discussed the main problem. If the main problem is clumsy or complex, that you are dividing into multiple problems. That means from top to bottom you are solving your solution. That means actual criteria is your problem is big, that you are dividing into multiple sub-functions. So that is actual criteria. So how you are solving? So the main problem is divided into multiple subparts as it is in the structured programming. That's why it is following top down. Now coming to bottom up, that means object oriented, it follows bottom up approach. Now if we see in object oriented, so for example, I have some different figures like shape, like triangle, rectangle and circle. So these are the 3 figures. Now I want to make some common properties for all these. So now if I take this common properties for all these things, these are all related to figures or shapes. Now what I am doing, I have different sub-problems or different similar problems that I am combining to make a big problem or a big solution. That means you are following bottom to top. So in object oriented, so you will follow bottom to top. That means you will take different similar objects and you will find common properties and you will make a common solution for all those objects. So that means you are following bottom to top approach. That's why object oriented follows bottom up approach. So these are some differences between procedural or structural and object oriented programming. The main thing is in procedural everything will be in the form of functions, whereas in object oriented everything will be in the form of objects. And in procedural the problem is data security that you are solving using object oriented programming. So this is about this video and thank you.